Bienvenido a todos a otra clase con el Don Alfredo Sanchez. All right. Hey guys, let's talk about the Latin American countries or the Spanish speaking countries that I've been to. I want to share them. I want to share my experiences with you, okay? The first country I've been to, well, it's in North America or America del Norte. And that country is Mexico. I went to Mexico in 2017. 2017. I went to La Casa Azul, the Blue House, where Frida Kahlo, the artist, the Mexican artist, lived. It was once her home, and I went there in Mexico in 2017. After I visited Mexico, I went to Cuba, again, in the year 2017. Hey guys, in 2017, I traveled to 17 countries. Yeah, that was a big year for travel for me. 17 countries in 2017. And Cuba was another one of those countries. In Cuba, I traveled to Havana or Havana. You see, that's the capital city, and it's very beautiful there. You know, I went to Cuba twice that year because when I went there the first time, I bought Cuban cigars. They were a gift from my father. When I returned to Los Angeles and I gave the cigars to my father, soon after I learned that the cigars I bought were fake. And so I was angry, I was disappointed, and I said, I've got to go back to Cuba to buy the authentic, the real cigars for my father. So I went back to Cuba. Now, I keep saying Cuba and Cuba. You see, as Americans, we oftentimes say Cuba, but the Cubanos say Cuba. Remember that. Yeah, so I went to Cuba twice in 2017 because I bought fake cigars on accident. Let's see, after Cuba, I believe I had a short layover in Panama, again in 2017. You see, in order to get from Mexico to Peru, I flew Copa Airlines, and that airlines has its hub in Panama. That's where that Copa Airlines comes from. And so in order to fly to Peru, we had to stop in Panama, get gas, and then continue on. So I went to Panama in 2017 as well as Peru. All right. So I had already been to Peru. I went to Peru for the first time in 2015, but Peru has a beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO, UNESCO, UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's called Machu Picchu. And when I went to Peru for the first time, I did not get the chance to go to Machu Picchu. So I returned to Peru a second time 2 years later, and then I went to Machu Picchu. And I'm very happy that I did. It was a beautiful experience, and I hope that you have the chance to go to Machu Picchu. So if ever you have the chance to go to Peru, think of Machu Picchu, and if you remember me, think of El Don Alfredo Sanchez de Los Angeles, tu maestro de español. All right? Where else have I been? Spanish-speaking countries. I went to Colombia and Costa Rica. Yes. Costa Rica, Panama. Okay. This was in 2017, and then I went to, let's see, Costa Rica in 2018. Yes, I believe it was, yes. In Costa Rica in 2018. In Costa Rica, I stayed in the jungla, in the jungle, or the bosque, okay? Jungla, jungla, or bosque, all right? These are terms that refer to the forest or the jungle, okay? La jungla y bosque. I stayed in the jungle of Costa Rica where there were large spiders, frogs, snakes, monkeys, flying cockroaches, flying cockroaches. Um, you name it, everything was out there. And I stayed there and I lived there in the jungle for 3 weeks, 3 whole weeks. I had a tent, and I don't want to give you the impression that we were just out in the open. No, there was a nice platform and there was a large roof above us to protect us from the rain, but there were no walls. So it was a canopy, this large space. Imagine our classroom with only a roof and the floor, no walls. And so I slept in a tent on top of this canopy. So, yeah, it was outdoors. After Costa Rica, I made my way back to Panama once again. And then from Panama, I continued and I went to Colombia. Went to Colombia, all right? And I was in Colombia for almost 1 month. And I watched as the new year came in. So I was in Colombia between 2018 and then 2019. I stayed in Medellin, Colombia. Now, I want to tell you guys, Medellin, Colombia is famous, is world famous because there are many television shows that were made about narcos, you know, the cartels and narco trafficking. But you know what? If you ever travel to Colombia, you're going to learn that the Costa Rican people are quite ashamed of that history. That's not something to be proud of. And they certainly don't like it when tourists, when people, outsiders come to their country and we say, oh, Pablo Escobar, yeah, you know, they don't like that, guys. So just be mindful, you know. But Colombia, yeah, that's where all of that stuff, you know, took place. But it's a beautiful country. The city of Medellin is beautiful, y'all. My goodness, it's beautiful. And it's worth visiting. So those are six Spanish-speaking countries I've been to. I know I'm missing some. Which ones am I? 1 year ago, in 2013, my cousin and I visited Puerto Rico. So that was 2023. I actually made a video about my trips to, to Puerto Rico. And you can check that video out. I think you have to type in South America. Yeah, I'll have to add a link. I'll add a link in the description below, all right? But I went to Puerto Rico with my cousin, and we had a beautiful time. In fact, I actually have an aunt who is from Puerto Rico. So these are 7 countries. Yes, Puerto Rico is an American territory. If you go to Puerto Rico, you don't need a passport. So perhaps for students, that may be the first place you want to travel because you don't need a passport to travel to Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. On that same trip, last year, 2023, I went to Ecuador as well. In 2023, Ecuador. In Ecuador, my YouTube channel is called IC109. And listen, just as I'm recording this video right now, I was in Ecuador. There was a bus behind me. The bus was behind me, so I couldn't see behind me. And as the bus passed, as I was filming, I saw the bus number was 109, or 109 as I like to call it. True story. That was in Ecuador. I've been to 9 Spanish-speaking countries, and this one's out of chronological order. I actually went to Spain in 2018. All right. I had a beautiful time, a wonderful time in all of these places, all of these countries. I have fond memories of them, and I've been very lucky to have gone to these countries for sure. I want you to know that you too can travel to all of these countries, okay? Perhaps, as I said before, go to Puerto Rico first, all right? You have your passport. American citizens do not have to have a passport. But for all of the other countries, yes, you need your passport, all right? Your passport is a very important, if not the most important book that you should have, okay? All right, guys. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my travels, where I've been. So let's see. How many Spanish-speaking countries are there? There are 21 countries, Spanish-speaking countries, and I've been to 9 of them. So 9 out of 21. Now, how many countries are there around the world? There are about, give or take a few, I think 192 to 196, something like that. I've been to 42 countries in total, 42 countries. And 9 of those countries have been Spanish-speaking countries, okay? All right. See you all in class. Adiós. Nos vemos pronto. Yo soy Alfredo Sánchez de Los Ángeles.